Hi! So in this section we are going to add our mapper key class, which is going to be the first class we're going to add. Hit a new here and add Java class and the name to be product. We added the product ID key, which is going to be our mapper key class. We are going to add some imports that we would need here, so just type in import. And after we have added the imports that we would need in this class, let's go ahead into product ID key here and write down implements writable comparable. So we are going to need a product ID field and a record type field. So let's start ahead and add those two fields. So write down public. So the record type here is going to indicate whether the data is coming from the product data or the sales order data. As we have two mappers, one for the product data and another for the sales order data. So now we will provide a constructor for product ID key here, a default no parameter constructor and that is required by Hadoop, and another constructor to initialize both of the product ID and the record type. So after we have added the product ID key constructor, which is going to initialize our product ID and the record type fields, we're going to implement the abstract methods that we're going to use from the writable comparable here. So in here, just implement all abstract methods. Let's just delete all of this here. So let's change this here to be out, and for the read fields to here to be n. So let's go ahead and add the two fields that we are going to read or write. So the first field is of course the product ID, and we are going to write it here. No, not wait. So write, and here to be, and we will do the same for the read fields here. So here just type in this dot product ID, and here to be read. So one thing to notice about the write or read fields is that the reading of fields has to happen in the same order the fields were written in. So the compare to here returns an integer based on its comparison. This comparison is used by the comparator, the sorting comparator used to sort the key value pairs sent by the mapper, and the grouper comparator, which groups them. Sort and group the data when sending it to the reducer nodes. So let's go ahead here and add our condition. So if the two product ID here are equal, it's going to compare the record types. If they're the same, we're going to get the integer based like a 0 or 1. So also let's add an else here, which is going to return. Let's go ahead now and add our equals method. We are going to customize it ourselves. So public boolean here to be equals name, and here to be product ID key. So it's going to check if the product ID keys are similar. So let's put here actually other. It's going to return it to the compare to here. It's going to compare the two ID keys, and based on the outcome, like 0 or 1, it's going to send it the appropriate sorting. So let's add the hash code method here. So int hash code. So what this hash code actually does is, so it's going to be used by the partitioner to determine which record is going to be sent to which reducer. So let's return here this dot product ID dot hash code. And in our case, we want all the records with the same product ID to arrive at the same reducer. And since we define the hash code function here in a way that it returns the key based only on the product ID field of our key class, The default partitioner serves our purpose, and there is no need to define a customer partitioner. The next thing we're going to add are the product and sales order data tags. So as we talked before in our architecture, we said that we are going to have a tag for each product to assign it to be a product that it came from a product table or a sales order data table. So we're going to have a 0 to be the tag for the product record, and we're going to have a 1 to that the record came from a sales order data record. And by that we have reached the ending of this section. In the next upcoming section, we're going to implement the classes for the sales, and until then, hope you guys enjoyed and learned, and see you next section.